Hi, hope you are all doing well. Today we are going to talk about an author who is quite well known to you, and one of his works have been recently re-telecast in Doordarshan. I think all of you have heard the name of the series Byomkesh Bakshi. I will be talking to you all about the creator of the character Byomkesh Bakshi. I guess you would all know his name. His name is Sharadindu Bandopadhyay. Why I have chosen Sharadindu Bandopadhyay for today's discussion is that most of us we know that Sharadindu Bandopadhyay is the creator of Byomkesh Bakshi, and he is the writer of this popular detective series in Bengali. However, Sharadindu Bandopadhyay happens to be a very versatile writer who was awarded the Rabindra Puraskar in the year 1967. But that is not for his books on Byomkesh Bakshi. It is for one of his historical novels known as Tungabhadra Tire. Before we go more into Sharadindu's books, I'll introduce you a little about his background. Sharadindu Bandopadhyay was born in Jaunpur in Uttar Pradesh and lived his life in Munger in Bihar. Yes, you have guessed correctly. He is also one of the Bengali authors who made Bihar his home. After passing law from Calcutta University, Sharadindu was working for some time as an assistant with his father, who was a prominent lawyer in Munger. But Sharadindu was not very much interested in practicing law, and he wanted to spend his time writing. So he took up writing in proper earnest, and from 1929 till 1938 he started writing books. It was during this period he created the great fictional character Byomkesh Bakshi. I think the year in which Byomkesh was first introduced was 1931. It was the first story on Byomkesh is titled as Shottanneshi, and other stories followed. Sharadindu was very interested in detective fiction of those days, particularly the English and American detective writers, and had read detective works extensively. Having read the detective works, he developed the character of Byomkesh, and he has written 33 stories or novellas about Byomkesh, including the last one which he could not finish. But apart from these detective stories, Sharadindu has written historical novels in which he was also very good. It is very difficult to think that from a detective writer, novels like Tungabhadra Tire, Gaud Mallar, Tumi Shondar Megh, all these things are written by the same person. The third category in which Sharadindu has written is about the spiritual world. He has a character called Baroda, and there are quite a few stories about Baroda. And just like Byomkesh Bakshi is known as Chattanneshi, who is always hunting the truth, Baroda is known as Bhutanneshi, who is hunting the bhoot or ghost. Having said about the stories and the novels written by Sharadindu, I will just now take you a little through his life. I mentioned that he started writing in 1929, and till 1938 he was consistently writing books based out of Munger. Then in 1938 something happened. He was selected as a script writer in Bombay Talkies, which was then under the management of Himanshu Roy, the very famous film personality of India. In fact, Himanshu Roy and Bombay Talkies are the pioneers of filmmaking in India. So in 1938, Sharadindu moved out of Munger and Kolkata and proceeded to Mumbai to work in the Bollywood film industry. His stint in Bollywood was for a period of around 14 years. During this period, for the first 3 years, he worked as a scriptwriter in Bombay Talkies and worked with Himanshu Roy, Debika Rani, etc. Then, after his contract expired after 3 years, he moved to another film company called Acharya Art Production and worked with them for 2 years. And then, in the subsequent 9 years, he was a freelance scriptwriter. During that period, he used to have scripts, ready-made scripts, pre-written ready-made scripts, and he used to keep them, and the film producers would come and then buy those scripts from him and make them into successful films. But what Sharadindu felt during his 14 years in Bombay, he was only devoting his time in films, and there was no time to devote for literature, which was his first love. So what he decided in 1952 that he will leave the film industry and will also leave Bombay. So in 1952 he moved to Pune and lived there till he died in 1970. During this 18-year period, he has written most of his later works, historical novels, and he has created another fictional character for children which is also historical called Sadashiv. There are about 5 books of Sadashiv. And who is Sadashiv? Sadashiv is an orphan who wanted to be a part of Shivaji's all-conquering army. So those stories, though are for children, are actually can be read by adults also. Now I want to talk a little bit about one of the Byomkesh Bakshi's stories in a little bit more depth. I have purposely chosen a story titled Pather Kanta to give an idea how difficult it is to write a detective story very, very well. In this detective story, Byomkesh is pitched against a particular criminal who he was. Till the very end, nobody knew who he was. The story opens with advertisements in the local newspaper, and the advertisement reads that if you want to remove your Pather Kanta, means any obstacle in your way, please do contact me. And at the same time, there was spate of murders which was all made very ingeniously. All the murder victims died on the road, and everybody had a gramophone pin stuck to their heart. So this was the background, and this actually interested Byomkesh, and in reply to the advertisement, he put his assistant Ajit, disguised as a middle-aged man, to get in touch with the advertiser. What Ajit gets in return is a particular piece of letter which says that you come and meet me on such and such date at night around 12 o'clock in a very remote location. So Byomkesh decides to take the challenge and go up there. But at the same time, next day morning, the actual villain who had followed Ajit to Byomkesh's place comes and speaks to Byomkesh to find out how much he has learnt. Having spoken to Byomkesh, the villain, who is a very cunning person, has idea that Byomkesh knows a great deal about the thing. So what he does, he lays a trap and thinks that Byomkesh is going to accept his challenge. But what Byomkesh does is, he takes Ajit and follows Ajit from a distance, and since it is night he is in black dress, and then finally he catches the villain, and at that point of time there was a scuffle and he overpowers the villain and ties him up. But the villain also is a cunning person and he is a pawn chewing person. So what he does, he requests Byomkesh that I want to drink water because I am very thirsty. So Byomkesh says there is no water available, so he says, why don't you give me a pan? That pan was already having some poison and the villain eats the pan and dies. So although Byomkesh outwits the villain, he cannot catch him. So next day when he talks to Ajit asks him point blank, did you know that the pan was poisoned? He said, I had a doubt, but do you think the villain with all his cunningness and his level of intelligence needed to be hanged? So this was a good ending. So why I am talking about this novel in depth is to tell you all that it is not a very easy thing to write a detective story, good detective story. Because in good detective story, the writer has to actually create a character, a villain character, and he has to also create a detective, and there is a battle of wits, and ultimately the more intelligent person, usually who is the detective, wins. So Byomkesh, having created Byomkesh, Sharadindu was able to successfully create a character who had been an immortal one in Indian literature. Having said that, I would say that age finally caught up with Sharadindu, and his later writings were not of the earlier standards. One book remains unfinished, that was his last book. While writing that book, he had a heart attack and passed away. That book's title is Shishupal Bodh. I have read the version, the unfinished version, and I would have loved to read the completed version, but since it is not possible, I have to make my own assessment of who could have been the killer in that particular story. I would urge all of you to read some works of Sharadindu, and then you will only come to know what versatile writer we had in Sharadindu. And his versatility is also seen by the fact that he had been a successful scriptwriter in Mumbai for a long period. I think we have spoken and we have discussed a long about Sharadindu, and I hope that you have enjoyed. Thank you, and I would like to see you soon.